Hey guys, how you doing? Amir here with Fish and Tips. I just made a video about tips for GoPro, settings and setups and all kind of stuff. Part of this video was how to extend your battery life. So I cut that piece to make it a shorter one. And if you want to see the full length video, just click at the link by the end of this video. Let's get to it now.
All right, how do we save battery on a GoPro? Something very crucial for this little fine camera, because the battery is just not good. As any other electric device, it will always turn off exactly when you need it most. So let me show you a few tricks of how to extend the battery life, and then we'll go out and I'll show you some more. So we started with turning the camera on. The first thing we want to do is this. We'll go to we're actually here. When we're here already, what I do normally is disable this one, which is the voice control. Now, I know it's a personal preference, so you might need it if you're shooting, you're taking photos from a tripod or shooting or whatever. You might want to have this on. I personally don't. It consumes battery because it's something that constantly runs in the background. So I leave it up to you. Obviously, you can always switch it back on and off based on your needs. Now we're gonna go to connect, because that's the biggest battery consumer, and that's here, the wireless connection. Turn this one off. There is pretty much no reason for you to have it on, not that I can think of, and that really consumes battery. So turn it off. Again, you can always switch it back on and off based on your needs. And now we'll just go through the preferences, through the menus, and I'll show you some more options that you have. So going top to bottom, let's see what we have here. All right, sorry, beep volume. Is there a reason for you to have the beep volume? I don't like it. I normally will put it on, you can put it on low, that's not too bad. It doesn't consume tons of battery, but the less things you have, the better. So I'll keep it on low. Then the LED, which is the lights, which obviously consumes some battery, I'll do all off because I don't really need them. Quick capture I leave on. Quick capture basically means that when you click on the shoot button, it starts working immediately and you don't have to power on the camera. I kind of like it this way, so I'm gonna leave it the way it is. Auto off, I use 15 minutes, which is a little bit extensive. I think you could use it on 5 minutes easily. I just like to keep it always on standby mode. So that works for me, but if you put it on 5, it's even better. Screensaver, same story. You can change the screensaver 1 minute, 2 minutes. I keep it on the lowest option possible because I don't need the screen to be on all the time. It consumes a lot of battery. Brightness as well, 100%. Huge battery eater, so I take it, again, personal preference. I take it down to 40. Looks fine, no problem there. And what else do we have here? GPS, definitely off. I never use it. It runs in the background and consumes battery, so you might need it. If you don't, take it out. And that's pretty much it. Don't press factory reset, that's not good for you. So this is it for the quick one. Oh yeah, there's one more actually, which is the resolution which you're filming on. And I don't know if everybody knows that, but I personally use the 1080-60 or 1080-30. 1080-60 is because I like to sometimes do some slow-mo and just tweak it a little bit later with post. But I also like to use 2.7 sometimes for higher resolution. However, the 2.7 consumes a little bit more battery than the 1080. Same goes for if you use the 4K, which is disabled now, but if you use 4K, it will consume yet more battery. My to-go is always going to be 1080, 30 or 60 and occasionally 2.7. In terms of battery saving, I'd recommend to keep it on the 1080 one. Okay, so now we learned a few tricks of how to increase the battery life when we're going out to do whatever we do out there with the GoPro. What I'm going to show you now is just an additional trick that you can use in order to make sure that you have some more juice when you're out there. Mind you that this is not going to work out when you need the GoPro to be waterproof, because we're going to remove the battery lid. So if you're going to do any kayaking or any diving or anything of that sort, ignore that part, because you're going to wreck your camera. So what I'm going to show you now is how to remove the battery lid, which I know can be really tricky, and I know quite a few guys who remain with a broken battery cover. So we'll make sure that that doesn't happen. What you want to do first is to remove the housing, which is a pain, literally. So you're going to put your fingers here, you're going to break a couple of nails, and it always sounds like it's breaking. It doesn't. It's quite a strong thing, but yeah, it's not always very easy. Push the camera out, put that aside. The battery sits here under, and what you want to do is obviously open it. Now, the only way to remove that battery lid is this. First of all, you need to push this part out. Otherwise, you won't be able to open it. You push it out, and then in this position, right like this, you just push it towards you. And the reason that you need to do it like this is the form of how the angle of this thing here. See? It's not 90 degrees, it goes like that. And what's more importantly is putting it back. You see, it needs to latch onto this bar. So same thing, you just grab it here and you make sure that this part is out and you click it in. Right, let me show you again. So taking it out like this, with your fingers that just counter against the camera, and then it's a little bit of fiddling, but don't push it too hard, because then you're going to end up breaking it. This is not a very strong piece. And then putting it back, again, quite simple. Make sure that it latches on the metal piece. Push it back in, you'll hear a little click. And there you go. And you close it back. Now I'm going to leave it out, because I'm going to show you what happens when I'm on the water and my battery runs out, which happens very fast. We're going to use a power bank. I'll show you in a second. So for now, again, just like this angle, pull it out and keep it in a safe place. You don't want to lose this piece. You're gonna cry if you do, so don't.
So using the power bank, well, it doesn't get much simpler than that. You've got your camera without the battery lid. You take the charger, the connector for the camera, just plug it in. Other side goes in the power bank, and you're on for some good charging. Now, the reason that you want to use this one and not an external battery, at least my reason, there's a few. First of all, this is cheaper. You can get this for much less than just getting a new battery. It lasts longer. So if you have a couple of those, you're set for a whole day. And you don't need to start fiddling with the batteries when you're shooting, replacing them and all. Just get one of these, it goes in your pocket, this one goes on your chest or in your hand, whatever, and you're good to go. So really works well for me, hopefully for you as well. Now, as I mentioned, if you want to see the full video, just visit that link here above, click on it, and you'll get some more tips about different settings for the camera that I'm using, different shooting settings, the mounts that I'm using, and things like that. So don't forget to give this video a like if you found it useful, and please subscribe to see some more. Till then, thanks for watching, guys.